the far right seeing Trump and Vance and Charlie Kirk and all, they are white fascist supremacists. Why? Yeah. You're trying to understand why I think Trump is a racist.
Yeah, I'm asking for an explanation. Yeah.
Wow. Let me pinpoint it because it's been an accumulation of knowing about him for the last 20 years in New York. I can't really say why I think he's racist. That's like saying, he's a white guy.
Did you travel far for this event today?
Excuse me?
Did you travel far?
Yeah. From New York.
Oh, from New York.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What does your sign mean?
It says Allah is gathering all the Zionists for the final solution.
What is that? A mushroom cloud?
Yeah, just like we're saying that Allah is going to destroy them, the Zionist state, because they're oppressing the Muslims.
Okay, yeah. Is that like a nuclear bomb or something?
I don't know what's going to happen, but it's like an example of what Allah is going to do, Allah's destruction. We don't know how it's going to happen.
Okay. What does your flag mean there?
It says there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah.
Okay. Got it. Can I ask, do you have a job?
It's not relevant.
Excuse me?
It's not relevant.
Well, I'm just curious because you're here on a Wednesday, middle of the day here. Like, what do you do for your day
It's
job?
not relevant.
Well, I'm just curious.
It's not relevant.
So what brings you out today?
No King's Day.
And why specifically are you out supporting No King's Day?
I think protest is important.
Why are you protesting?
How much time do you have?
A couple minutes. And what's the main reason you're out here protesting President Trump?
I agree with a lot of the decisions that are being made.
Is there any decision in particular you disagree with?
Okay, so I would start with, well, I don't even think it's appropriate for me to have.
All right, welcome back. This is a Sunday broadcast, and so let's just hang out. Today we're going to be covering the Antifa protests outside a hotel where the Antifa Democrats thought that Director Kash was lodged, and they spent the entire night, Saturday night into Sunday morning, protesting outside of the building. We're going to look at that incident and a few things that happened. As always, leave your thoughts in the chat. Then we're going to look at a very serious warning that the Democrats have issued. We're going to look at that report because, when the Democrats tell you what they're going to do, believe them. It's not rhetoric. It's not, them just blowing off steam. It's exactly what they're going to do. And then we're going to look at an interview that Trump gave. I think it was earlier today. It's quite an interesting interview to look at. They talked about the assassination attempt and a few other things. So maybe we watch as much of the interview as we can. Now, you are part of the live stream. So your chats and your comments are valuable to the direction of the live stream. So please keep your chats coming. If you have any thoughts, let's have them in the live chat. So we're going to be jumping right into the story. I will read all of your comments in the chat, and hopefully we'll figure out how to have some fun. Now, gardening, welcome. I wasn't sure you were going to make it because I didn't really put much of an announcement out there. So here's the protest that happened outside of the hotel. Now, here's one aspect of the footage. There's a grandma. Well, I'm going to just read the post. Okay, so fierce boots on the ground. Portland Patriot Stacey Pritchard was at the downtown Portland Kash Patel protest, where MAGA Granny had dragged all the Antifa comrades down to when she found out the FBI was in town. Stacey was incognito, but by only Pam herself. Jeez, these guys should please type better posts. All right, so I'm going to just play this, and then again, let me know in the chat if the audio is good, because I'm not sure sometimes. So let's go.
That is Crypt Keeper Kid. Who are you? 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 Why are you? Fucking Crypt Keeper! Are you a journalist?
So they're essentially swarming the Trump supporter. So, all right, thanks, gardening.
Why are you running? I don't harm nobody. Ever. What you doing, Pam? What you doing, Margaret Granny? Why are you spying around videotaping? Margaret Granny, why are you worried about other people? Why are you? Why are you? I asked you first. I asked you first, Margaret Granny. Who is this? Margaret Granny! You? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Silly questions, right? Get a stupid answer?
Are you with him?
No. Myself.
No?
Myself. I was over here. Over there.
The protest is over there.
They came like into a long hard protesting over there. I don't give a shit about it.
Okay.
I am Antifa.
For you?
It's crazy that they would spend all night making noise outside of a hotel, and the police doesn't come out there to arrest them because they are essentially harassing the neighborhood. Okay, like people are trying to sleep, literally trying to sleep, and they're out there making lots of noise.
You hear that person over there calling you an owl? You hear that person who was calling you an owl?
I still have your question.
Oh, you guys already destroyed my car.
So this is happening late.
Stay the fuck away from me.
Oh, it is Stacy.
Stay the fuck away from me.
Just crazy.
It's not a threat, it's a warning. Stay the fuck away from me. You're colorblind, retard. I'm not white. They're not white.
Or white. Where you going, Sean?
All right, so that was happening at one part of the street. Meanwhile, at a different location, right in front of the hotel, okay, this happens. Okay, Tommy, if you recall, we did a live stream where he was covering a protest outside of a building somewhere in Portland, and then he was maced. We covered that last week. So gardening says I was watching it last night. Yeah, I'm actually looking for the actual stream. I think it's been taken down from the BG on the Scene channel, but maybe if you have that, you could send me the link that you watched last night. So Tommy got sucker punched at the Antifa downtown Portland Kash Patel protest. Try saying that 5 times. After flashing lights in his eyes. Okay, so here's that incident, and it's crazy. I'm going to just zoom in. Okay, so he was standing. So here's Tommy. Okay, I think you can see my mouse. He's standing outside of the hotel, minding his own business, and then this coward does this.
Guys, he was on the phone. Oh my God, that person just punched.
Okay, these Antifa terrorists are cowards because one, they don't operate in as individuals. Okay, but meanwhile, you see the conservative journalists show up as individuals and go into these crowds. So let's watch that again. He wasn't looking, he was using his phone to record what was going on, and then this coward does this.
He was on the phone. Oh my God, that person.
Then he runs. And then he runs. These people are cowards.
Where's Tommy? Where'd he go?
And then now they're mocking him.
What the fuck was that about? You just sucker punched him.
Gardening, if you have the link to the to the video you watched last night, you could send it over to me. I'm looking for, because I saw the footage last night, but I was already in bed, like, so I couldn't do much about it. So if you have a link, you could shoot that over to me. If it's not showing up in the chat, then you can send it to me as an email, so I can bring it in. Now, so this happens, and then the Antifa guys are mocking Tommy for being sucker punched. All right, I've sent it. Okay, good. I'm gonna pull that in. Okay, so guys, we're gonna look at the actual protests. Give me a second. All right, good. I have the YouTube link. So we have that's this guy. Yeah, I watched his live stream. I don't know. Okay, well, let me just try. I don't want to react to his reaction, but I think it's fine. I don't think he'll mind us using his footage. All right, so I'm just going to skip forward to, let me see. So I'm gonna skip forward and find something interesting. All right. Just give me a second. Yeah, so I was in bed. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna. What? All right, so that's the. Oh my goodness. All right, let me close the chat.
That's the guy from that made terror person airplane from Dallas to Portland.
Hey, what? I just came to make sure Ryan was okay. I just came to make sure Ryan was okay. I'm just recording. I haven't said a word to anybody.
Shit.
You go good.
So,
You go good.
I'm gonna drop the volume just a tad. Let me see. This went on all night.
Hey, Madeline.
So
Madeline,
I'm just gonna pause this for a bit. So this was going on all night, and the first video that we watched was on a different street, and all this was going on while that was happening. So imagine this going on for the entire night. I woke up at about, was it 3 a.m. my time? That must be about 1 a.m. your time, gardening. And this was streaming, and I was like, what on earth? These guys are crazy, like they literally do this. But the sad thing is this: where is the Portland police? Okay, why wouldn't they arrest these people while they're clearly disturbing the peace? But the Portland, the city of Portland allows Antifa to run free and just to get away with whatever whenever they step out. They did this for over 100 days last year outside the ICE facility, and it's crazy to watch this, and nothing happens to these guys. And then when justice comes visiting, they claim that their freedom of speech is being attacked. So we'll just listen to a bit more, and then we'll skip over to the Democrats. The Democrats have essentially issued another warning, and like I say, whenever the Democrats say they're going to do something, believe them. Okay, they're like, the Democrats are largely incompetent at running states or cities, but whenever they say they're going to do something, believe them. Okay, and when that thing has to do with prosecuting their political enemies, they will do it. So let's watch this just for a little bit more. Send in your chats, and then we'll go to the next story.
Antifa's inciting violence. I see it. When I hit record, I want you to attack.
All right, so we're going to be transitioning everyone who's on the main channel over to the backup channel. So guys, just keep streaming. We're going to, as soon as we transition you, you'll all be moving over to the live stream channel. So don't budge, don't panic. You're just going to be moved over. The reason we do that, I'm going to explain why we do this when we switch over to the live stream channel. I don't want to do this while you're all still wondering what's going on. So just keep watching. We're going to hit play. Just keep watching, and then you're going to transfer over to the live stream channel. Okay.
I'll edit the part out where you attacked them first. Get those mega chuds.
They came by.
What'd they say?
They gave a warning. So yeah, that was like 30 minutes ago.
They're gonna come back.
Oh. Man, I hope the police come back and they clean house. What can the police do though? Because you got people standing outside that club. They're probably not going to use like mace or anything like that. Well, they're not at the ICE facility. This is downtown Portland.
Minor
attracted persons.
What the fuck?
They think Kash Patel is in here right now.
Yeah, I don't even think Kash is there.
All right, so at all these protests, you have these people with very weird sexual preferences, and that's the one thing that seems to be the glue. People who are essentially just deviants. They've attached themselves to a political party that validates their deviancy. And so whenever you see these protests the Pride Month is coming up, you're going to see them show up, and just the entire logic or the entire policy that they run with is, we want a party that will let us do whatever we want to do to and with young kids, with minors. That is where they're pushing this narrative, and it is just crazy to watch. And that's one reason, and since this is Sunday, we can talk about this, and that's one reason why you see people who support the Democrat Party push so hard against Christianity, because Christianity says you can't do this and be a worshiper of God. God frowns at this lifestyle. Why? Because it's destructive. It takes away the innocence of children. There's so many reasons stated, and when you look at how people who have gone through these kinds of lifestyles as young people, when they grow into adults, it ruins their lives. But these people just want to continue doing this because that's just what they want to do. They want to continue to engage in all sorts of deviancy. Now, so this happened last night. There's other footage. I had footage from Tommy's perspective, but there's no need to drill down on that. Now, guys, I just want to explain, okay, the chat is important to the live stream because while we show these stories, I love to hear your perspective on these stories. I love to hear what you think about what's been going on in the United States. As an immigrant, I have my perspective. Okay, I've watched the United States all my life, and there is a certain high quality of political engagement and discourse that is expected from the United States. But what I see today is totally different from what I saw growing up and what I believe should hold true. What I see is the United States is beginning to lean more and more towards becoming a third world country. Because if you can't have a intelligent political conversations, you are essentially becoming a third world country. That's essentially what I'm seeing, and that's one of the things that drives me to create the content I do on YouTube. I would rather be by myself. Look, it's getting late. I should be in bed, with my family and just, resting. It's Sunday. It's Mother's Day. Oh my goodness, sorry. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. All the ladies out there. Happy Mother's Day, gardening. I totally forgot, and I committed the same crime this today. I didn't wish my wife Happy Mother's Day until it was late, and I was like, I had to apologize. So why? Because I've got a lot on my mind. I've got a lot on my mind. So I totally forgot. I feel bad about it, but I mean, somehow I'll figure out how to make it up to her. So happy Mother's Day to all the ladies out there, all the women out there. We love you, and we hope you had a great day with your family and with your loved ones. So I look at what's going on in the United States, and it is insane. It is just pure insanity. Okay. Gardening says, okay, yeah. So I'm going to read all the chats from gardening, and then anyone else who has a comment, please put it in the chat. I'm going to read your comments. I was watching it live last night. They were out of control like always. And then gardening also said, I don't even know how long he was on for. His live stream says he was on for an hour, but most of the people who streamed it may have been there for over 4 hours because they were trying to cover it. Let's see. I feel for those who are staying at that hotel. And that's the thing, okay? Why is it that compassion is being shown to criminals? Criminals are getting away with doing things like this in the United States. It endorses the insanity that they're pushing. And I just don't know what to say. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the chat, okay, what you think. Now, let's see. So we've talked about Tommy getting attacked and sucker punched. Will that guy get arrested? Will they find him? Will they arrest him? It's Portland. And you literally have to, as a conservative counter protester, you literally have to gift wrap these Antifa types to the police. And even when you gift wrap them to the police appears to be reluctant to arrest them. They appear to be reluctant to do their job, and it's crazy to watch. It's insane to watch, but that's exactly what we've been seeing for months now. Okay, so yeah, so it's sad that this is allowed to happen. Okay, so let's move over to the next video. Let's move over to the next video. If you're late to the live stream and you post your chat, we can always circle back to that conversation. Okay, so I'm going to load up the next video. 1 second. Yeah, so here's what the Democrat Party has been up to this week, over the weekend. This weekend, you have Cory Booker shows up on Meet the Press, and he essentially, this post says this. Okay, I'm going to read it out. There's a corrupt shadow hanging over the Democrat Party. They will smear anyone and everyone, including the courts and law enforcement, to keep their race-centric, illegal, alien-centric narrative going. Then it's reposting a post from Devory Darkins. Another dark warning: Cory Booker doesn't hesitate to admit he wants to pack the Supreme Court, to reform it, because he disagrees with their recent rulings. My question is, who is more corrupt, the Supreme Court or Congress? Now, that these guys can say this openly with a straight face is shocking to me. It's like the crooks coming out to say, we hate the police is illegitimate. That's exactly what Cory Booker and the Democrats have been saying about the Supreme Court since the ruling that they passed this last week about the racial gerrymandering that the Democrat Party has been engaged in. Let's listen to Cory Booker.
Well, you take me to my next question, because this decision has revived.
Please let me know if the audio is good. I have to ask.
Well, you take me to my next question, because this decision has revived the debate within the Democratic Party about potentially adding more seats to the Supreme Court. Would you, Senator, support an effort to add more seats to the Supreme Court, to expand the court?
Well, remember, there's a corrupt shadow hanging over the Supreme Court. Some of these same members that are voting on decisions like this are accepting gifts from billionaires. We have RVs, lavish vacations.
Now, he's making an accusation. Can he prove it? And that's the strange thing. Many times they say these things on mainstream media. Mainstream media doesn't push back. This statement goes out. I don't want to call it a lie. I don't, because I can't even prove that it isn't so, and he hasn't proven that it is so. So they say these things on mainstream media. It goes out there. And the mentally unhinged types in the Democrat voting population takes that as the gospel, and then they begin to figure out ways to harass and attack the conservative justices on the Supreme Court. That's the playbook. That's the playbook. And look at his face. He's looking like this is serious. It's serious. It's actually happening. And the people out there who don't know any better believe him. And this is the thing that frustrates me so much about the Democrat Party in its current form. The number of lies that they've told and the number of lies they've been caught out on. And no matter how many lies you catch them out on, they keep telling more lies. And that is just frustrating to me.
A corrupt court, the highest court in our land, has the lowest ethics laws. Number two is that the Supreme Court clearly within our power. I lead one of these pieces of legislation with Senator Whitehouse and others to give term limits to Supreme Court members. That could go a long way in curing this. The Supreme Court desperately needs reform. It is a corrupt court. And in my opinion, it is a court that needs reform, and I will continue to lead on those things.
Now, there's a reason why he's not going to come through on that threat to limit the term limits of the Supreme Court. The term limits of the Supreme Court has never been touched. Okay, hold on. I'm going to check AI to figure out if I'm correct. I'm going to check what I just said. But as far as I know, the term limits for the Supreme Court has never been touched. It's a lifetime appointment. Once you're a justice on the Supreme Court, you're on it until you die. Now, while he's talking about term limits for the Supreme Court, how about we talk about term limits for people in Congress? You have people who have essentially died in Congress because they refuse to retire. Like they don't have term limits. Okay, so how about we talk about that? Okay, Cory Booker. Okay, so Gardening says in the chat, hey, how about we just let Trump go ahead and do them a favor by packing the court for them? Do you know what? I agree. I agree that Trump should go ahead and do that for them. Do you remember when 2 weeks ago, Hakeem Jeffries and Barack Obama were puffing out their chests about how they were going to redistrict Virginia and how, they were going to take over, and they were just, they were bloviating, and Hakeem Jeffries said that they would do whatever it took to redistrict Virginia. And then the Supreme Court decides to say, okay, look, you can't do that. But however, you need to reverse all of the racial gerrymandering that has already happened. And then all of the states that had been racially gerrymandered reversed their maps and they lost it. because they were the ones who wanted to redistrict. They were the ones who wanted to redistrict. Now that it's happening to them, they're freaking out. It's not fair. It's racism. It's wrong. It's crazy, but when the Democrat Party tells you what they're about to do, believe them. Gardening says so many millions spent to redistrict. It's only to have it reversed. It's look. Personally, I am pleased. All right, let me see. The comments were just crazy. It seems the current Republican leadership in the Senate would be okay with the direction Spartacus wants to take the country. Well, the point is this. The point is this. If President Trump decides you guys want to pack the Supreme Court, fine. And then he changed it to 13 justices, and all 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, all 4 extra justices are conservative. Because that's what the Democrats want to do. They want to pack the Supreme Court, and then when their guy is in office, they add 4 extra justices who are all progressive or Democrats. That's what they want to do. So if Trump did that, guess what would happen? The news would break out. Oh my God, it's racist. It's racist. Oh, we have a racist, corrupt Supreme Court. Okay. They're going to bring up all the accusations. They're going to activate all of their crazies, and they're going to protest. Okay. Just imagine having 4 extra conservative justices. Look, once President Trump says, okay, I'm going to take what you're asking for and I'm going to do it, you see how they would backpedal so fast you won't believe. Okay, and the complicit mainstream media is going to back them up. Okay, so it's crazy. I like that idea, gardening. All right, guys, you guys watching, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing if you haven't subscribed, liked, or shared. Hit the bell icon to be notified when we go live. We go live every day of the week except Saturday evenings. So let's see. So the Democrats have essentially threatened that, to pack the Supreme Court, and like I said, if the Democrats say they're going to do something, believe them. Okay. Yes, they are horrible at running their states. They are horrible at running their cities. But they are great at prosecuting their political enemies. They are great at attacking anyone who doesn't agree with them. They are consistent when it comes to those things. They're consistent with anything that is anti-American, anti-Christian. If they say they want to do something that is anti-American, anti-Christian, against the Constitution, believe them, because do you know what? That is the true goal of the Democrat Party. If you don't agree, prove me wrong. Anti-common sense, okay? Who opens up their borders and says to everyone out there, come right on in. We don't even need to know who you are. Come in and do whatever you want to our country, and we'll protect you while you're doing it. Okay, who does that? The Democrats. Okay, they are the ones you can totally depend on. Okay, now let's pivot over to Trump's interview. And you know what? I have a unique crowd, so I'm just going to relax and just enjoy hanging out with you guys. I keep saying, guys, leave a comment, post a comment, say something. And then most of you just don't want to say anything. You just want to kind of be in the background. And I get it, because it's a crazy world out there. You don't want to get, I think this was today. And I would like us to listen, and you can leave your comments while. All right. So I think what he's saying is believable, because we saw Iran lash out at all their neighbors after Israel and the United States decapitated the leadership of the IRGC. So it's interesting that everyone for decades, the Democrats and Republicans on both sides had said for many years, Iran cannot be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. And then Trump was the very first person to make sure that didn't happen. Now, Ro-Khanna, I don't know if I have that video because I bookmarked it. Ro-Khanna claims that Barack Obama prevented Iran from having nuclear weapons, according to Ro-Khanna. Okay, so hang on. I hope you guys don't mind if we take a, we take a detour and listen to Ro-Khanna. Okay, and then we'll come back to what Trump is talking about. Ro-Khanna was like, I get offended. Okay, it takes a lot to offend me, but I get offended when someone wants to treat me like I'm stupid. All right, so we watched as Obama kowtowed to the Ayatollahs, to the IRGC, went there on a state visit and bowed to the supreme leader, and then he ships off pallets of cash to them. Like, essentially, anyway, I don't want to. And that to the Democrats is preventing a nuclear bomb from being built, enabling the same insane people who chant death to America routinely in their parliament, giving them pallets of cash to jumpstart their nuclear enrichment program. So here's, I don't know, I'm sorry for ranting, okay, because whenever people try to insult my intelligence, I get very upset about it, because it's like, I can see what you guys did and you're trying to tell me that you didn't do that. So here's Ro-Khanna lying,
suggesting that Obama's leadership on Iran was better because,
as always, whenever I play a video, just let me know if the audio is coming through.
Because under President Obama, there were 14 wire transfers to a, hold on. There were 14 wire transfers to a Swiss account linked to Hezbollah between 2014 and 2016. Whoa. That was a total of $1.7 billion.
What?
The same $1.7 billion he told Congress was frozen Iranian assets.
Okay, I did not know that. I didn't know that was happening. Oh, goodness.
Now, there was a back channel to Tehran through Valerie Jarrett, active for 2012 to 2024.
Thank you, Godby.
This was after he left office. So, it was almost like a shadow government. He also sent pellets of cash in a plane to Iran. Now, why would you send money to Iran knowing that they are building a nuclear weapon and they are the leading sponsor of terrorism?
Barack Obama was a great statesman who left America much safer.
You see the stupid questions the stupid answers that these people give. All right. Why would he do that? He was a great statesman. Right. Now, do you guys remember that report that Obama had told Vladimir Putin that he should hold off on invading until he was out of office? That, since it was his final year in office, that they could be flexible on certain things, that when he leaves, he would go ahead and do what he needed to do to Crimea and Ukraine. Let's listen. I don't know. I don't want to rant anymore.
I wouldn't put Donald Trump in the same paragraph. The reality is, when President Obama left, because of the great efforts of people like Valerie Jarrett, we had 97% of the enriched uranium out. The reality is we didn't have 13 American service members dead. The reality is we never had gas go up from $2.30 to...
These people are cowards. These people are cowards. They refuse to do what it takes to protect American lives. All they want is to make sure that the optics are just right. They don't want to be responsible for the fallout of doing what it takes to protect the United States. So in their opinion, service members who lay down their lives to protect their country is a bad thing. Now, I don't mean that it's good for service members to die in service of their country. What I mean is this: the conviction that your country is so important that you lay down your life to preserve your country is something that they hate. And that's why they don't respect service members. They don't respect people in uniform, because that conviction of people laying their lives down for the United States inspires a deep-seated patriotism in the hearts of everyone else. They don't want that. They want American citizens to hate America. They don't want anyone questioning whether America is, or no, they don't want anyone even imagining that America is worth dying for. That's what they hate. So whenever they have an opportunity to avoid the optics of that, they avoid it. But Joe Biden essentially blundered into a failed exit from Afghanistan. Service members died. How come he's not talking about that? And that was not a war. That was not a war. That was an exit. And yet, it showed the belly of America to the enemies of America that how many service members died as a result of that buffoonery. Okay, so that's crazy. I don't know, man, guys. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting too upset about this. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm being told that that I shouldn't believe my lying eyes.
$4. The reality is we did not give China
inflation-
more role in the region.
let's
Let me
talk
finish,
reality.
Maria. I'll let you finish.
Okay,
we didn't give China more role in the region. We did not give the IRGC a more hardline regime in there. You know why? Because Obama actually did his homework. He actually tried to engage in statesmanship. He got China, Russia, the entire European allies on board with getting Iran on a path to not having a nuclear weapon. All Trump did is listen to Netanyahu. That's his entire foreign policy. And you know what? I resent the fact that Israel is going to tell the United States what to do. The American president should call the shots in this country.
And, well, the American president should call the shots in this country, but you and your colleagues are trying to clip his wings right now with this war powers vote. I agree. The president is in charge. But look, a lot of the things that you...
All right, so that's the bit, okay, that I wanted to play. It's longer. Maybe we'll pause it and come back. Gardening says, I believe Obama and Biden had gas prices over $4 and $5 at this same time while in office. Yeah, because the Democrat Party are part of the climate cult. They're part of the climate cult. They would rather cripple American energy because they want to save the environment. And the entire policy of the climate change cult is not based on science. Okay, but this is not the live stream where we'll talk about that. So let's keep listening to President Trump's interview. Crazy that over 20 million people broke into the United States under Joe Biden, and the Democrats show zero self-awareness of what they did or what they encouraged or allowed. Because I remember there were many people saying, hey, the border is open. The Democrats were the ones trotting out to say it's a conspiracy theory, it's a lie, until Elon went over to the border and live streamed people crossing the border. Like, they literally told us that we shouldn't believe our lying eyes. We had Nick Shirley at the border filming people crossing over. And they kept saying that it was a conspiracy theory. Kamala Harris kept saying that the border was secure until it wasn't. And then they began to say, oh, we're going to secure the border. The Democrat Party is if they win another election in the next 10, 15 years, then the elections are rigged. Okay. In spite of, the elections, in my opinion, are the Republican parties to lose. That means if the Republican Party doesn't do a good job enough to win elections, it's their fault. It's not that the Democrat Party has anything solid to run on. The only thing they run on is Trump bad. That's the only thing they run on. Every single candidate in the Democrat Party, from the mayoral races all the way up to Congress and Senate and even the judiciary, they all run on the same thing: Trump bad. Why? Because their policies are so insane. No reasonable person would vote for them. So they have to depend on the single thing that they believe would work, which is cash in on the TDS that is afflicting people. We'll be curious to see when Trump isn't around anymore. Then what will they do? Look, these people. I'm trying to say this in the best way possible. These people are going to continue to resurrect Trump for as long as they can. Because for the foreseeable future, just like Obama is doing right now for the Democrat Party, President Trump is going to be a presence for the Republican Party until he's dead. Okay, or until he dies of old age. That's what I mean. He's going to be a presence, because what he did for the Republican Party, I don't think any other president has done. So he's going. Most Republican candidates are going to be taking his lead. He's going to be the de facto leader of the Republican Party, just like Obama is today. Okay, everyone knows that Obama currently controls the Democrat Party, and they're going to continue to run on MAGA, because MAGA is going to continue after President Trump is out of office. Everyone is going to try to capture that energy and run on it. They're going to find a way to pigeonhole Trump into their campaigns and try to accuse him of everything that's happening, even in their own poorly run states. It's like Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is blaming the failures of his leadership on Trump in California. Okay, every single Democrat who has destroyed their cities or their states is blaming Trump for it. It's just insane to watch.
We have the strongest borders we've.
All they know is Trump bad. That's all they know, Trump bad. And sadly, there are low information voters. Will America allow that for them to open the border again? I'm sorry, gardening. America allowed it before. America allowed it before. And like he said, the only way you can keep the border secure is to keep voting Republican. We've seen two Democrats from Congress telling bald-faced lies or saying crazy or outlandish things with a straight face, like nothing is going to happen, because they know nothing is going to happen. The mainstream media will protect them, will cover up their lies while they burn the country down. So I don't know. Let's say to go ahead and make all illegals here legal. Chuck Schumer said it in public. He said it in the open. He said that they're going to fight for every one of them to become citizens and to be able to vote. All 20 million people. Okay, let's leave out the kids. Let's just call it 10 million people. So you artificially inject 10 million people into your voter rolls, and those 10 million people attribute their becoming citizens of the United States to the Democrat Party. They will vote Democrat. So that means that essentially the Democrat Party will be the super majority and the only party being voted into power for the next 100 years. That's what's going to happen. That would essentially spell the destruction of the United States of America, because that is what will happen. 10 million people pushing for one party to become the super majority. It's just crazy. So that would be what would happen. America already allowed it. We were watching. I was in Africa watching this insanity play out. And I was like, what on earth is going on? What is this insanity that I'm watching? And you'd have Democrat upon Democrat telling us that what we were seeing happening wasn't happening. So that's my concern. Gardening. If we say, will America allow that? I don't. We've seen it happen before, and because of the uniqueness of the American political design, Congress will allow the president, the new Democrat president, sign sweeping executive orders that would essentially erase the policies that President Trump's administration have put in place to secure the border. I don't, like, guys, the Biden administration were selling the material for putting up the walls. Do you guys remember that they were selling these materials because they didn't want anyone else who was coming back into office to have the materials to readily secure the border? I don't know if, like, sometimes I remember that and it feels like a bad dream. That's how it feels like to me. It feels like a bad dream that you had a government, a president who literally did everything in his power to make sure that the country was not secure. It was frightening to watch. Gardening says, I guess if you can't even get Republicans to pass the Save America Act, then anything is possible for our destruction now. And that's another thing that I'm concerned about. When you have the Republicans not doing their jobs, I'm watching this, and to me, it's a horror. It's a horror show to watch. The Republicans have Senate and House majority, can't pass simple legislation to secure the border, can't even decide, okay, we're going to either suspend or destroy or get rid of the filibuster, because it's insane that you guys aren't allowing this president to rule or to lead simply because you want him to fail. And then you have two government shutdowns, and then they turn around and go to the press and call it a Trump shutdown when they were the ones who shut down the government. Like, well, we've seen the protesters are out there. Okay, those are the Democrats. Okay, those are the Democrats. Like, I decided today that I was going to stop calling them leftists. I'm going to call them Democrats. Those are the voters. In fact, I would call them Democrat voters from now on. Everywhere I see a protest or a riot, I'll just say those are Democrat voters. So everyone knows what you're dealing with. Okay. Yeah. Everyone knows that these guys are Democrats. So let's call it what it is. These are the people that the politicians are pandering to. People who have unhinged ideas of what America should look like. Those are the people that are being pandered to. And it is just unfortunate that that's where we are right now as a country. I'm just sad. Okay, guys, I'm just sad because I just had to tell you the truth. Like when I said America will allow it, I felt bad because we've seen it happen before. Okay, so let's keep watching. Let's skip forward a little. Hope we can do that.
Involved in.
Well, do you think the gold is there? Because exactly, you read my mind. I don't think the gold is there. I think Elon with Doge got too close. They got too close to the truth. And now, just if you can remember how they attacked Elon and President Trump relentlessly last year about Doge, when they uncovered that that Social Security payments were going out to people who had been dead, who were 120 years old, but had been dead for years, and those checks were still going out. Like USAID. I don't think they would have allowed them get near Fort Knox. They would have come up with all kinds of lies. Do you recall when they said that Elon was trying to steal your Social Security numbers to enrich himself? They would come up with and you know what? The more desperate the lies, I think is an indication that you're getting very close to something they don't want you to see. And they were telling some stupid lies about Elon and Doge and so on. It was crazy and hilarious to watch at the same time. That's the guy that they say is the corrupt president stealing all your money. He's not even taking a penny as a salary. There were no sparks flying there. They were very straightforward questions. Some people would call them softball questions. And I don't know. Let me know what you think in the chat or in the comment section. I think the interviews that we enjoy to see are the ones where there are sparks flying. But sometimes those interviews get very frustrating because the people try to put words in President Trump's mouth. I think if you let Trump explain and speak, it gets boring. Okay, let's just be honest, it gets boring, but it's good that he's able to have these kinds of interviews where he's allowed to speak and answer the questions. But the ones that get a lot of clicks are the very contentious interviews. So I think this was a good interview. It was one of those interviews that don't raise your blood pressure. It just helps you see that President Trump is clear about what he wants to do. He isn't like Joe Biden. He isn't. Like many people just forget the 4 years of Biden. And I'm still dumbfounded that we went through that. It feels like another life. It feels like another life. It is like you're waking up and you're like, oh, thank God, that was a bad dream. And then you roll over and then you're like, oh no, it wasn't a bad dream. It's actually happening. Like we went through with I have clips. I have Joe Biden clips. So here's a clip of Joe Biden, okay? In 2023, in the middle of the lawfare against Trump. Okay, so here he is.
Mr. President, what do you say to Americans to convince them that they should trust the independence and fairness of the Justice Department when your predecessor, Donald Trump, repeatedly attacks it?
Because you notice, I have never once, not one single time, suggested to the Justice Department what they should do or not do relative to bringing a charge or not bringing a charge. I'm honest.
You had this for 4 years. I'll be honest, it was terrifying. It was terrifying, not because it was like, oh, Joe Biden is going to drop a nuclear bomb. It wasn't that. The question was, who exactly is running the United States? Gardning says it's hard to believe we made it through that. Like, it's difficult. Like, the relief I felt after Trump was reelected, because Kamala Harris would have been way worse than Joe Biden. She would have been way, way worse. All right, I feel like I should make my increase the size of my insets here. Yeah. Kamala Harris would have been way, way worse. It would have been crazy to go through that. And we listened to Kamala Harris talk, and with Joe Biden, it was like, okay, clearly he isn't feeling well. He's sick. Okay. And anyone would have given Joe Biden grace. You're sick. They've been using you as a sock puppet for their agenda. We get it. But Kamala Harris didn't have that excuse. She was healthy. And many would accuse her of being in the bottle, okay, drinking a lot. But she was healthy. And she would open her mouth and say the weirdest things. And the mainstream media would clap like seals. Oh my God. Oh my God. She's so articulate. Like, she would have been way worse. way, way worse. You know. So, guys, those are the those are the stories that we are going to be covering tonight. We've already we've crossed the hour mark. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed hanging out. I'll say something, okay? I'm rethinking doing the transition from the main channel because we do have a lot of visibility coming from the main channel. The main channel has over 12,000 subscribers. This live stream channel has 1,450. Well, did we cross 500 yet? I think it's 1,450 subscribers, and I just want to confirm. Oh, we crossed 500. Okay, so 1,522 subscribers, and the reach we get whenever we go live on the main channel kind of helps to get the videos out there. I'm conflicted because I don't want to affect the main channel negatively, because when you have videos that go out and people don't essentially watch all the way through, it kind of sends a signal to YouTube, and YouTube is very finicky about that. So that's why I've been trying to protect the main channel. But I'm going to think about it. I might keep live streaming on both of them. Just try to see how we can do a safe crossover. Maybe at the point where we're like, okay, maybe we're about to gift subs. Maybe we're about to gift memberships, not subs, but gift memberships. Then we can do the transition so that more people can, stand a chance of winning a gifted sub. But I'm thinking that we need to revisit that. But do you know what? I don't know about you, but I've been enjoying the live streams. I've been enjoying being able to hang out and talk with you guys and cover these stories. And I want to do something extra for people who have a membership. I want to be able to do like watch parties. Either we do a watch party on a press conference with President Trump, or something that is just us. I don't want to, how can I put it now? I don't want to ride the algorithm. And what I mean by that is I don't want to do these live streams trying to game the algorithm all the time. If I try to do that, you wouldn't get to meet the real me, like the person who is behind the channel. I want you guys to get to meet me. The content that I create on the main channel is largely historical footage with commentary in between, where I try to explain what's happened over the years, especially when it comes to Trump. Some of the things he said back in 1980, 1995, and so on. I try to step back in time because the Democrats and mainstream media told us for years that Trump was a racist, that he was all the evil things in the world combined. He was worse than Hitler. And going back to those videos proves them wrong. I like going back to those videos and proving them wrong by doing that. But I find that somehow there's still a disconnection between me and my audience. So I have 12,000 people on that channel, but I feel like there's a disconnection between me and that audience. I feel a stronger connection with my audience when I live stream. So I want to be able to do more for you guys with the live streams. I want to be able to engage more. I want to be able to speak with you guys, not talk at you. I don't want to insult your intelligence by writing up a bunch of outlines and scripting the live stream and just force feeding my ideas or my conclusions to you. Most of us agree on politics. We agree. We tend to finish each other's sentences, like what happened just a few moments ago. I was about to ask Gardening a question, and she basically jumped in there and put the answer in there because I was going to ask, um, is the gold at Fort Knox? And she already put the answer in the chat. Like, I want to be able to connect with you guys and have conversations with you and have you guys talk in the chat. That's why I keep going back to saying, hey, post your comments in the chat. I want us to talk. I want us to talk. I want us to talk. That's why I do that. And for me, the live streams that I enjoy the most are the live streams where we actually have real conversations. Like, I enjoy these conversations thoroughly. Like, whenever I have you guys posting in the chat and I'm responding and I'm stopping the videos, the live stream is not about the video. I know that a lot of people come to watch these videos and to actually say, hey, we enjoy how you piece these stories together and so on. But here's something that I guarantee you. I guarantee you that once we begin to have more of an engagement in the chat, the videos that we piece together get a lot better. Because while we're talking, more of the things that I've learned and I've researched and I've gone through, with all of the things we've been watching over the last 15 years will come back to me. And we just keep, and you and I piece these stories together and have an amazing time during these live streams. And that's what I'm aiming for. So there's going to be some things that I'll be asking, and I would like to know what works for all of us as a community, because I see us as a community. I want to know what works. I want to know what lands. I want to know what we can keep repeating and succeeding at. So I'm going to be thinking of what to do with the main channel live streaming. I don't want to kill the VODs, but I also don't want to limit the reach of the live streams that we're having, because I think that what we're doing here is great. I think it's fun. I know that it's going to take a while to kind of grow the live stream audience so that we have a committed group that always show up to watch the live stream and to engage. But we're just going to keep at it. We're going to just keep at it. And always remember, your comments in the chat do a whole lot to shape the direction of the live stream. And when we get more people engaged in the chat, it's going to be magic. Believe me, it's going to be magic. Already, I'm feeling the magic with what we currently have with gardening, with Intergalactic Wrangler, with others that come in occasionally to post. As soon as, like, sometimes all it takes is one post and the live stream just takes a turn that takes it to another level. So I would like us to have more of those magical moments. All right, it's Monday morning for me. I'm going to have to go to bed so I can prep early in the morning and get my youngest to daycare. But we're going to be back again later tonight to cover the stories that are developing. See what else is going on with Portland. And I never did get to figure out why they thought Kash Patel was in that hotel. So Kash Patel was in that hotel. That rhymed. So never did figure out why, but maybe something will turn up tomorrow and we can figure out why they actually thought he was in the hotel. He's in Portland, or was in Portland, and maybe they assumed that was where he was staying. But isn't it insane that we get to see Democrat protesters protesting at will during a Republican presidency, but whenever Republican protesters come out to protest, they're called extremists, they're called white supremacists or Christian nationalists? They bring up all of these words to douse whatever momentum Republican protesters have. So it's crazy. And again, the legal system is harder on Republican protesters than it is on Democrat protesters. Okay. He knows better than to stay at one around here. I'm not sure what you posted, gardening. He knows better. Could you rephrase that? I'm not sure if I understand that post. Oh, the hotel. Okay, yeah. Okay, I don't think he's going to be that reckless, because Portland is a crazy city. Law enforcement essentially doesn't do their job when it comes to arresting Antifa when they do crazy things. So I think Kash Patel would have simply zipped in and jumped on a plane and left. He wouldn't have spent the night. I don't think he would have. I wouldn't, because that city is crazy. Yeah. So there's so much to do, so much to cover. But guys, thank you so much. It's encouraging to have you on the live stream. I'm so encouraged to have you guys joining and commenting and just being here from end to end, from the start of the live stream to the end. I know that there are a bunch of people who, I know my demographic for the channels. My demographic are aged between 55 and over 60. I do have people who are aged 35 and older, but the people who essentially stay longer for the show tend to be between the ages of 50 and above. And I know my demographic. And I know that most of us are private people. We don't want to get our faces out there. We don't want to essentially engage. Most of us are not internet natives. Okay, we didn't grow up on the internet. So interacting online is new for us. Chatting is new for us. But do you know what? I'm going to keep asking you guys to engage. I'm going to keep asking you guys to speak out and help out and essentially contribute to the channel, because I believe in you guys. We are essentially the custodians. We are the custodians of history. Okay, the young ones who are coming up have been brainwashed by the educational system. We need to be the ones to teach them, but we need to use the tools that they use to teach them, which is right now the internet. So yeah, so gardening says it's new for me. I'm not a public chatter. Look, guys, I am so not an internet or an internet native. Okay. I touched my first computer. I think I must have been, how old was I when I touched my first computer? What year was that? I must have been what, 24, 23 or 24 when I touched my first computer. And I didn't even, okay, no. I was younger, but it was a friend's computer. So the first Windows system I ever used with the Windows screen and so on was my kid brother's. He had built it, and I got home from college. I was about 23 years old plus, and I was using it to play video games on his computer. That was it. And we didn't have internet. Okay, so it was basically, you get a disk, you slot it in, you install it on the computer. You don't have anything to do with the internet. My first email address was opened when I was 23 by my brother. Like, I'm not a native. I don't do much of chatting. So I understand you, and I can tell that many of us are struggling to do this. But these are the tools that the young people use. These are the platforms that they essentially visit and get most of their news on. So we have to get on it. We have to leave the memories that we have in digital form. When you chat, when we have these conversations, we leave these memories out there, so that someday these young ones will find what we talked about many years later. I am doing this for my kids. I'm recording all of this for my kids. so that in 10 years, 15, 20 years, they're like, what did dad think about men in women's sports and how did he handle it? Okay, hopefully they find a video where I'm not ranting and I'm articulating an answer that they can use when they're engaging with their peers. Because guys, I hate to be a doomer, but I think it's going to get worse. I think it will get worse. Yeah, Trump might secure some sanity for the United States for a few years, but I think somewhere, somehow, Europe and the rest of the world will continue to burn. It's going to be visible on the internet. There'll be lots of people in Congress in the United States who want that insanity to be entrenched in the United States. Those conversations are going to be happening, and our kids need to be able to have these conversations in an enriched way, not in an emotional way where it's more like, oh, it's just bad. There has to be some articulation of how to engage with these things. It's just me thinking these things out loud. So I hope we can do that. It's my dream. I hope we're able to accomplish it. Now, gardening says, if they continue to get to our kids while young, I can see this going bad. It's really bad, gardening. It's really bad. I am an optimist. I am an incurable optimist. Okay. I still feel like, yes, it's going to be very bad, but you know what? We're still the ones who have more children. Conservatives still have children. It's the liberals and the Democrats who want to abort their kids. They want to abort their kids so that they can continue to have sex with random people. That's what they want to do. But because they know they are not having enough kids, they want to indoctrinate our kids. And that's the frustrating part. Okay, you do you. You don't want to have kids. That's fine. We have kids. Leave our kids alone. And then you have characters on the internet. Let me see if I can find this character that I saw today. Okay, this lady essentially almost, I hope I can find it. Essentially almost acting like homeschooling our kids should be banned. Don't know if I can find it. I saw it today. Like, I go through my feed, I bookmark a lot of things, and I'm like, you won't have kids, or you abort your kids, and then let's see. Aha. So let's copy this. I want you guys to watch this. You know, I don't know, I'm talking so much. I'm talking so much. I already said good night and I'm still talking. All right, so leftist TikToker, if I was president, you would not be able to homeschool your children. That is the sentiment. They let me just play this, okay? Let me play this.
And if I was president, you would not be able to homeschool your children. You wouldn't. I'm sorry. I don't even think that charter schools should be a thing. Private schools, not a big fan of those either. But homeschooling your children, that would not work for me. Because how are you homeschooling a child and you don't have any formal education? Well, you don't need, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You don't even understand child psychology and child development, but you're going to tell me that you can teach children? No, it feels like a form of...
Do you need to have a degree in biology to have children? You don't. All right. So when a girl that believes that wearing a septum ring is normal, trying to tell me how I should raise my kids, you know that the world has essentially gone off the deep end, and she feels entitled to telling me how I'm supposed to raise my kids. Okay.
Neglect to me. It definitely does, because anybody who's ever met anybody that was homeschooled and had to dig themselves out of that and then go to college to get a degree knows that shit is fucked up.
Yeah, you throw in some profanity to make your argument sound profound. Okay. I've met kids who were homeschooled. They are some of the most resilient and intelligent kids around. Why? Because their parents did a good job of it. Okay, how about those kids who can't even read in public schools? So this leftist, oh no, I promised I'll stop calling them leftists. This Democrat voter believes that, with her septum ring, believes that she's an authority to let parents know whether they can teach their kids. All right. Most teachers essentially all they just read what the textbooks say and they use the examples in the textbooks. They don't essentially know how advanced math works, but what the textbooks for the level of or grade that they teach states is what they teach, and they're fine. And the kids pass. I don't know, like it's frustrating to believe like this person votes. Like it beats me, but then again, it's the world we live in. This person votes.
I have friends who didn't actually earn a high school diploma until they were in their 20s because they were homeschooled.
Oh, she's lying. She's lying, guys. Because people like her aren't friends with people who are homeschooled. And if anybody claims that they were homeschooled and couldn't read, they are lying. They're lying. Okay, prove me wrong. Well, they're lying.
Which means they weren't even actually taking any tests. They were.
You see, look, for millennia, for thousands and thousands of years. Okay, let me not go that far back. For hundreds of years, okay, parents in Europe and especially parents in the United States, mothers in the United States would teach their kids how to read and write. Okay, and they were more effective at teaching their kids how to read than the so-called educated teachers who changed the format of teaching a child how to read to teaching them the alphabet. When the schools decided, okay, we're going to first of all teach you the alphabet, that essentially cut out, not cut out, but it added years to a child's ability to start reading. Because what parents will do is that they'll sit their kids on their laps, open a book, and they will teach them by doing. That's how we've always learned. We teach by doing, not by memorizing. We teach by doing. So when people like this talk, I'm like, get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. And most of the time you're lying because you have a narrative that you're trying to push. And the only way you can get that narrative across is by lying and lying and lying and sprinkling lots of profanity in there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm supposed to have been saying good night. Supposed to have been saying good night. Okay, so you guys get the gist. She's lying, claiming that kids should not be homeschooled. And that's the thing. We're talking about the future and how bad it's going to get. These are the people who are either going to be voted for or who are going to vote. And they're going to push that ideology. And because you and I want to sit in our homes and retire and live a quiet life, we think they're going to leave us alone. They will not. They're going to make sure that they get their fingers into our houses, around our kids' shoulders, and they will try to steer them away from us so that they can raise them to be degenerates. All right. Enough ranting. Goose Vaba. Goose Vaba. I need to calm down. I need to calm down. Guys, it's always fun as always. Thank you. Thank you, Gardening, for moderating. Thank you for the chat as well. Guys, if you watched, thank you. I appreciate you hanging out, even if you lurked and didn't contribute to the conversation. I still love the fact that you took the time on this Sunday evening to hang out and to watch the live stream. Hopefully, during the next live stream, you would, get some courage and drop a line. Possibly the next live stream, I would leave the live stream on the main channel going. I'm curious to see how many live viewers we're able to harvest from that. We need to grow. We need to add more people to the movement. But you know what? I'm grateful that I have you guys. Thank you so much for being on the live stream. Hope you're subscribed. Hope you like the video. Hope you're sharing the video. And always remember, hey, if you feel like it, I keep forgetting to do this and I need to do more of it. If you want to support us, you can leave a donation by using the using the QR code on the screen, or you can leave us a super chat or a super thank after the fact. So gardening says, I hope everyone has a great day today. Best wishes. Good night all. All right, good night and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.